It was called the eighth wonder of the world. A room whose walls were built entirely from amber, 6 tons of it, carved into swirling panels, backed with gold leaf, studded with mirrors and semi-precious stones. When candlelight caught its surface, the whole chamber seemed to burn with a warm, honeyed fire. For 2 centuries it dazzled Russian Tsars and their guests. And then, in the chaos of the Second World War, it disappeared. To this day, no one knows where it went. The story begins in the early 1700s, in the Kingdom of Prussia. Amber was rarer and more prized than gold, and King Friedrich commissioned craftsmen to line an entire room with it. The result was so extraordinary that when the Russian Tsar Peter the Great admired it during a visit, the Prussian king made a grand gesture of diplomacy. He gave the room away, as a gift to seal an alliance. The panels were packed into crates and shipped to Russia, where they were reassembled and expanded. Under Empress Elizabeth, the room found its permanent home in the Catherine Palace near St. Petersburg. Craftsmen enlarged it to fill a grand hall, adding more amber, gilded carvings, and glittering mirrors until it covered nearly 55 square meters. It became a symbol of imperial wealth, a chamber that visitors described as stepping inside a jewel. For nearly 200 years the amber room glowed in the heart of the Russian court. It survived revolutions and the fall of the Tsars, becoming a treasured museum piece under the Soviet state. Fragile as it was, no one dared move it far. The amber had grown brittle with age, and experts feared that dismantling the panels could shatter them. That fragility would soon become a fatal problem. In June 1941, Nazi Germany launched a massive invasion of the Soviet Union. As German forces drove toward Leningrad, Soviet curators scrambled to evacuate their treasures. But when they tried to take down the amber room, the dried amber began to crumble in their hands. In desperation, they made a fateful decision: they would hide it in plain sight, covering the walls with wallpaper to disguise them as an ordinary room. The trick failed. German soldiers knew exactly what they were looking for. Within 36 hours of capturing the palace, specialists sent to loot art for the Reich had stripped the panels from the walls. The dismantled amber room was packed into crates and shipped west, to the city of Königsberg in East Prussia. There it was reassembled inside the Castle Museum and put back on display, a stolen prize returned, in a sense, to German soil. For nearly 3 years the room stayed in Königsberg Castle. But by 1944 the tide of war had turned. Allied bombers pounded German cities, and the Red Army was advancing from the east. The museum's own director reportedly ordered the panels taken down once more and crated up for safekeeping. Then, in the winter of 1945, the trail goes cold. The last confirmed sighting of the amber room places it in the castle, and after that, nothing. In April 1945, Soviet troops stormed Königsberg. The castle was gutted by fire and shelling. When investigators searched the rubble, the crates were gone. Had the amber burned in the flames? Some believe it did, that the ancient resin simply melted away in the inferno, and the greatest treasure hunt in history is chasing a room that no longer exists. But others insist the panels were moved before the city fell. The theories multiplied. Some say the crates were loaded onto a ship in the Baltic, perhaps the doomed liner Wilhelm Gustloff, torpedoed with thousands aboard, or another vessel now resting on the seabed. Others claim the amber was hidden in a network of tunnels, sealed inside a mine, or buried in a bunker somewhere beneath the old German lands. Every few years, a new treasure hunter announces they are close. So far, every lead has ended in disappointment. There is a darker thread to the story too. Several people connected to the amber room met strange or violent ends. A Soviet intelligence officer investigating its fate died in a car crash. A German museum expert who claimed to know its location was found dead. A treasure hunter searching for it was murdered. Believers whisper of a curse guarding the amber. Skeptics point out that in the ruins of post-war Europe, sudden death needed no supernatural explanation. The hunt has never truly stopped. Divers have searched shipwrecks in the Baltic. Explorers have probed collapsed tunnels in Poland and eastern Germany. Ground-penetrating radar has scanned hillsides and cellars. In recent years, teams have zeroed in on hidden chambers and abandoned mines, convinced the crates lie just beyond the next wall of rock. Each search draws headlines and hope, and each time, the amber slips away again, as if the room itself refuses to be found. In 2003, A painstaking reconstruction of the Amber Room was completed at the Catherine Palace, rebuilt over 24 years by Russian craftsmen using old photographs and drawings. Visitors can once again stand inside a glowing chamber of gold and amber. It is breathtaking, and yet it is a replica. The original panels, carved 3 centuries ago and coveted by kings and tyrants alike, are still out there somewhere. Or perhaps they are gone forever. So what really happened to the Amber Room? Did it burn in the ashes of Königsberg? Does it lie broken in a sunken ship, or sealed in a forgotten mine beneath the earth? 6 tons of priceless amber cannot simply evaporate, and yet, for more than 80 years, it has eluded every searcher who has hunted for it. Somewhere, perhaps, the 8th wonder of the world is still waiting in the dark, glowing faintly, keeping its secret.